hear no one wants to fight you.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. This is my second debut, I guess you could say. I was supposed to debut on the LA Forum card. I think that was 2 months ago. The Pico and Bader Fader card. So I've gone through 4 or 5 different opponents. This one hasn't backed out yet, but he's still got some time, so we'll see.
That has to be pretty frustrating when you go through all these opponents, all these different cards, and nothing comes to fruition.
Yeah, I switched my focus from Olympic wrestling to fighting under the impression I'd be able to get fights. As a wrestler, you show up to a match or tournament, you're going to get matches in. So, I kind of just had that mindset coming into it. But in fighting, it's a little bit different. You get people who want to protect their record, the best that want to fight the best. Thankfully, I'm at one of the best gyms in the world. I'm at Team Alpha Male. I got the right guys behind me, Uriah Faber, Danny Castillo, veterans in the game. And they kind of prepared me for that. Chad Mendez is there. We got a lot of still active top fighters in the world. So they prepared me. They told me it was going to be hard to find fights. But, we just stayed the course. So
Darren Warren said he had troubles getting his first UFC opponent. Do you think it's just a wrestler thing? Like no one wants to fight a wrestler coming in?
I don't really think there's a lot of places you can beat a wrestler. If you don't catch him before he takes you down, usually you're going to be in for a long night, a long, frustrating night. We just have that allure. You see most of the best guys in the world seem to be wrestlers. You see what Usman just did. You look at all the best guys, John Jones, he has a really extensive wrestling background. He could have been a D1 wrestler. So, we're just problems for a lot of these guys who want to stand there and be the next Conor McGregor. That's not going to happen with us. So,
who do you think is the best wrestler in MMA right now?
Right now, I think it's me. I just don't think anybody knows it right now. Kamaru Usman is right up there with the best of them. Like he said, he may not be the best striker, the best wrestler, but when it comes to mixing the shit up, he can stand with anyone. I feel like I'm on that same level, and I'm going to showcase that. So,
you're from around here originally, aren't you?
Yeah, born and raised Chicago, so it's going to be the hometown crowd. Looking forward to having my family out.
In the city itself?
Yeah, I grew up on Montrose in California. I went to Horner Park every summer, played baseball. Montrose and Kedzie. I went to Bateman Elementary School, Thurgood Marshall, so I'm excited to have the hometown crowd out. Yeah.
You mean you got a lot of family and friends that are coming out for it?
Oh, a bunch. There'll be at least 30 to 50 people in the crowd with white CG shirts on, cheering me on, seeing me perform for the first time. Honestly, I've kind of been at this on my own for a majority of my life. My mom worked 2 to 3 jobs. I've just been grinding. I saw what people were doing and where they were going, and I didn't want to head down that path. So thank God I found sports, and I'm finally in a position where I can show my family, and then it starts paying off, and I can start bringing them out to support some other events too.
You had a couple of amateur fights. This is your pro debut. You're coming over from wrestling. What's it all been like, and what, if any, differences have you noticed, heading into your pro debut versus your amateur career?
Not too many differences. I prepare the same way every day. Day in, day out, it's a grind. You got to stay steady. Stay healthy is a big thing. I'm 27. That's probably the biggest thing I've learned as I've progressed as an athlete is just, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, but just that same mindset, staying ready. I can make weight on 2 weeks' notice. I stay in shape, I don't get out of shape. Yeah.
Do you expect any jitters, anything like that?
Maybe once I'm walking out to the octagon, but once that bell rings in the cage, to the cage. But once that door's locked and we touch gloves, there's no time for jitters. So.
Are you one of the first Team Alpha Male members in Bellator? Can't recall that many going on.
So we've had a couple guys fight, but I don't think we've had any guys signed to an extensive contract like the one I just signed with Bellator. So I'm really looking forward to developing that relationship with our team and the promotion. Bellator's a hell of an organization to represent, and I think they can open up a lot of opportunities for our guys at our gym. We got a ton of guys who I think would be a great fit here.
You are the first signee for sure. I think I remember that correctly. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Congrats for that.
Thank you.
Now the pressure's on though.
No pressure.
What that means.
No pressure. No pressure.
You signed with Bellator in November. You just mentioned how it's a great organization. Can you sort of elaborate a bit on that? Why Bellator and not try and wait out for the UFC or something else?
I just want to be somewhere where I'm wanted. I want that that desire and that partnership to be reciprocated. I don't want to feel like I'm the only one pursuing someone. It's like being in a relationship. You don't want to be in an 80-20 thing. I feel like From the first time I talked to Rich and the guys, everyone else over at Bellator, they showed me they wanted me to be a part of this. They wanted to help develop me, and I want to help their brand grow. So I see it being a mutually beneficial opportunity for all parties, and I'm looking forward to doing what I got to do tomorrow.
Do you expect a long-term future in Bellator?
Yeah, I'm just taking everything day by day. I'm not straying too far away from what I got in front of me right now. I'm looking forward to this fight right now. I got a 5-fight deal, 2 years, whichever one happens first. Hopefully I get those fights in. Guys don't keep backing out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Like I said, I love Bellator and the opportunity that they presented me with. So, hopefully it works out at the end and we can continue our growth together.
What do you make of the top of your division with Chandler fighting the main event, Benson's kind of on a run, Patricki's always out there?
There's tough guys up there, but I don't really see it being too top-heavy. Chandler's a dog. He's shown that fight after fight. He can stand there and throw down with anybody. A lot of these other guys you mentioned are a little bit older, and I feel like they're on the tail end of their career, where you have guys like me who are more up-and-coming, still haven't nearly reached our potential, who are only going to get better, with time. So,
what do you think of Asker and Burroughs?
Man, that just shows what fucking dedicating all your time to one discipline can do. There's levels to this shit. Burroughs is just on another level. He's on that day in, day out wrestling grind. Askren shifted his focus, 4 or 5 years ago. I think that match could have been a lot closer than it was. But, that just shows how when you stay the course and you're focused on one thing, you can't just walk in there and compete with these guys.
What do you think of Burroughs' one MMA fight under his belt?
I know Burroughs personally. I've spent some time at the Olympic Training Center. I lived there for a couple of years. I know he's looking forward to 2020 and redeeming himself from 2016. He came up short of his goals. If he were to come into the MMA world, everybody better watch out because he's a hell of an athlete. So we'll see.
Do you want to show off your striking in this fight, or do you generally plan on sticking to what you're known for?
I wouldn't say I'm known for anything. I've only had 3 fights. I think I've showcased I can stand there and I'm willing to fight. Sure. By no means do I want to be a one-dimensional fighter. I don't want to go out there people thinking I'm just going to shoot. I'm long, I'm fast, I'm quick, I'm athletic, explosive. I've got some great coaches who, we work extensively, world-class kickboxers and great striking coaches like that. So, I'm a mixed martial artist. I plan on mixing it up in there. So.
You're a Greco-Roman All-American. Even though you don't have tons of MMA experience just yet, do you feel like that those accolades add some expectations and a bit of hype, and does that add a bit of pressure? Or?
I wouldn't say pressure. If anything, I feel like it presented me with a little bit easier of a route and opportunity than a lot of these other fighters. You don't see many people getting contracts with an organization like Bellator after one fight. So that opened a lot of doors for me. Pressure is what it is, you know what I mean? It's going to make a diamond out of you or it's going to break you. So I think you guys got a diamond in the rough, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. So.